How are you guys living? We're ready to chop it up like we always do. Let me get my sound recordings and all that ready to go. What's going on, man? How y'all living? Everybody come on in the room and let's chop it up. What's going on with everybody, man? I hope you guys are having a great week so far, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are having a productive week so far. It's the end of the week, and we are here doing what we do. Let me see. People are piling on in here heavy. I am. I didn't do my main show this week on my YouTube channel. I didn't do my main broadcast. I might do it tomorrow. I'm not in. I'm not at home. I'm in Washington D.C. at the moment. Shout out to D.C. Shout out to all my D.C. people out in D.C. handling some business out here in D.C. and Baltimore, handling a little business, getting some things together and everything like that. It's cold as hell out here. And shout out to the beautiful DC people, the beautiful Maryland people out here chilling. Um, by the way, the new movie Microphone Check will be in theaters the end of May. We're getting all the theaters lined up. The theaters that are confirmed: Los Angeles at the Fine Arts Theater. That's going to be Thursday, May 23rd. The Texas Theater in Dallas, I think that's on the 23rd too, I think. In New York at the SVA Theater, that's going to be Saturday, May 25th. We're going to have two big showings there. Tickets will be on sale in a couple of days, ladies and gentlemen, for the Microphone Check screenings. Man, you got to go see that movie. You got to take your family. You got to go as a group. Very good educational piece, man. Very important documentary about our culture. So tickets will go on sale. They're going to go very fast. So y'all definitely get your tickets quick. We made sure to get theaters that were kind of bigger this time. A lot of times we have screenings. Oh yeah, by the way, the Atlanta screening is going to be at the Tara Theater Saturday the 25th too. But a lot of the screenings that we would have them in theaters that were only like 200 seats, 250. We made sure to get bigger theaters so that it could fit all the people, because usually we sell out relatively quickly. So these theaters are much bigger that we have now that we're going to have showing the films. So they're still going to sell out. They just won't sell out as fast. So it's going to be a lot of people there. Y'all need to get your tickets ASAP when they go on sale, and they will go on sale in a couple of days. So you better get your tickets early. These showings are 100% going to sell out, because people are trying to buy tickets now and they're not even for sale. People are already calling the theaters and all of that. So the tickets will be on sale shortly. Let me see. We got a few hundred people in the room already. By the way, guys, this April 13th, we're going to have an event at the Hidden History Museum. Y'all need to come on through. We're going to have our spring fever fling, where we have a good time. We got some great comics that's going to be there. We're going to have complimentary food, complimentary drinks, and hot music. So y'all need to come on through. That's going to be at the Hidden History Museum, April 13th. That's Saturday, 7 p.m. So you guys go to Hidden History Museum and get your tickets for that right now. HiddenHistoryMuseum.com. HiddenHistoryMuseum.com. So look, a lot of stuff going on right now. Have y'all seen these videos, family, of people rushing the border? There were some guards at the border, and they were just getting rushed by illegals. They're just rushing the border. It's getting insane. It's getting crazy looking out here. So you have these people just bum rushing the border. It's like an invasion. And I've seen some other videos of some immigrants, some newly arrived immigrants over here talking about how to scam to get into houses, how to utilize these squatter laws where they can just move into somebody's house and utilize these squatter laws and just finesse people out of their homes. These immigrants are doing this stuff now. There's videos circulating about this. There's one Korean man that he messed around, and I think he got a house. He squatted in a house in a white neighborhood, and they're trying to get his ass up out of there. Yeah, he went and got a crib and squatted in somebody's house in some white neighborhood, and boy, they about to form a militia to get him out of there because he's finessing them squatter laws. But yeah, these folks out here running all types of finesse games. Um, it's a problem. It is a problem, and the Democrats are giving these folks the red carpet to pull this kind of stuff. You understand? The Democrats are letting these folks do all types of stuff. And they want to do little symbolic gestures for us. They're giving these folks money. They're turning a blind eye to them running these little scams. And many of the scams are going to fall on us. Yeah. And what we're doing is we're getting symbolic nothing burgers. I think they're about to open up some memorial, and I think they just did down in Montgomery, Alabama, to commemorate the millions of black people who were enslaved. Okay, commemorate me with a check. Yeah, they're going to start this symbolic stuff. If you're going to commemorate, let a check come behind that. All right. If you're going to commemorate slavery, because we're talking about slavery and reparations and all of that stuff and family, this is another thing I'm working on too. We're going to have the rally for reparations out here in DC in June. So y'all need to come on through for that. For real, family. That's serious, man. We need to be out here in droves, letting our voices be heard, saying what's not the business, saying what's cool, saying what's not cool. See, we have to stand up on a grassroots level and stop letting the media dictate what we want. The media is sitting around here parading Section 8 rappers around, acting as our spokespersons. The Biden administration, they're running around here with Glorilla. And Glorilla, no disrespect to Glorilla. Glorilla does what she does. Some of her songs are cool, but she's a ratchet rapper. She does ratchet raps, and that's a genre. Not saying that she herself is ratchet. I think it's all performative, but getting these people to act as our representatives and they don't know what they're talking about, that's another slap in the face. So you're going to see a lot of that in this political cycle. They're going to start getting these ratchet rappers and parade them around and have them act as our spokespersons. They just had Fat Joe up there with Kamala Harris looking like a deer in headlights discussing marijuana laws. It's just real awkward and out of place. And family, we on the grassroots, we got to step up and say, no, we ain't with none of that. This is what the damn agenda is. We have to set the tone and we have to be very bold about it. We have to say what we need. We have to say what we want, and we have to have a unified front in order to do it. That's why we're working on getting the Rally for Reparations Part 2 popping again. We need to come out here in strong numbers and represent. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get some calls in a minute. But like I was saying about those squatter laws, man, we got to watch out for these folks coming among us, man. They're using all types of legal loopholes to finesse us and do all types of things. And that's a problem. We don't need to have our political class telling us what they cannot do. And they're letting all these other groups come over here. They give them our tax dollars and then turn a blind eye when they're pulling all of these little finesse games. So it's an interesting dynamic out here. Okay, we got a lot of folks in here. Let me get some calls. Um, let me see. Let's get Dr. Feeling Free. Let's get Dr. Feeling Free in here. Dr. Feeling Free. Hey, turn your microphone on, sir.
What's going on, Doc? What's going on, Tyreek? This is Dr. Feelings, the Black Jerry Springer, aka Mr. Wendy Williams with the Rose on Twitter. Hey, I just wanted to say I hope that you watched the Nickelodeon documentary.
No, I heard about it though.
Hey, bro, that thing was powerful, but I think one thing that was overlooked, and it shouldn't be taken more or less, but it should still be talked about, is the way that the black mother protected the black child the most, and that drive the wedge in their relationship because he kind of blamed her because she was so on their ass. You feel me? She was protecting him from what was going on over there, and the psychological damage with the racism that was going on in Nickelodeon. I don't think that was talked about enough for our people. So I feel like everybody should check it out and pay attention to the story of the black mom and her son because that was overlooked. It went overlooked.
Where can people see the documentary?
I got on my pin tweet 1 and 3 right now streaming. You feel me? I be finding the websites, but they're gonna take it down quick. So I've been pushing that shit for like 3-4 days. If you've been paying attention to my page, I've been having all the links up and everything. So I'm missing 4 right now, but I got 1, 2, 3 already.
Okay, I'll check it out.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you, bro.
So is this where's the show originally airing? Is it a Netflix series? Because I've heard about it. But I don't know where it's originally being shown. Drow, Drow, a Dro. Okay, Dro. Go ahead and say something, brother. You sitting up here breathing on the phone like a damn serial killer. What's on your mind, man? This nigga want to call up and breathe on the phone. This ain't that kind of party, brother. Get on Lil Nas X's live with that if you want to breathe to niggas. You want to call up a man and breathe. What kind of shit is that? What's up, JM?
What's going on, brother? That stuff is streaming on Max, HBO Max.
Oh, okay. So have you seen the documentary?
Nah, I ain't seen it, man. I mean, it's nothing surprising. Like, all these documentaries come out about things that people know that happens in those industries. You know what I mean? Like, you got certain people that they the gatekeepers. They're on some weird stuff, and money is just a distraction that covers a lot of stuff. I always told people. I started in the music business when I was real young. And I always told people that money is that distraction that lets a lot of stuff stay under the radar. The underage dating or the pedophilia bullshit that happens across every industry where there's a lot of money. When the economy starts going bad and people can't start paying the fees, like if you watch the Narco, as soon as El Chapo stopped paying the fees, that's when they got on his ass.
Yeah.
This is what happens on all these things. When the fees stop getting paid, then the real shit just starts coming out. So people act surprised, like those kids grow up different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could just tell that they're exposed to certain things, and as long as they're getting paid in certain circumstances, it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Or it's not an issue. Once that check stops coming in, they want people to just go crazy. But like you said, and I check in with you, man, because you keep it so real on here. So my salutations to you on that.
Respect.
So this immigration thing that's going on. That's the biggest issue that's going on in this country, man. And people still voting for people that keep them oppressed. And I always tell people that there's people that they oppress you and they make money by playing psychological games. People need to start waking up. Or they got to just stop complaining altogether. Because you see people complaining, but they're not, doing anything about it. Like what's going on in Chicago, that's messed up, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's real messed up.
Yes, it is. So we're looking into it too. A lot of the brothers and sisters are stepping up, saying, "Hey, man, enough is enough." That's why we got to make some national noise to say, "Hey, man, this ain't cool. What's going on ain't cool. This whole benign neglect policy against foundational Black Americans is not cool. We're taxpayers, and we don't get what we're paying our taxes for. Those tax dollars need to circle back and help the people paying the taxes, not non-citizens who's harming us." All right. Shad. What's up, Shad?
What's going on, Tariq? Can you hear me?
I'm good. Yes, indeed. How are you?
I'm doing good. First off, I just want to give a shout out to you. And I want to say that people need to really listen to you, because I've been following you since maybe 2013, and
Yeah,
literally every single thing that you have said has come into fruition.
yeah,
You're like 4 years ahead of everything, so people need to really start listening. And I just have a quick question. I'm going to be brief.
yeah.
So, how do you feel that us FBAs, Foundational Black Americans, need to properly combat? I don't want to sound too like, I don't want to set, how they have little words that set shit off, but
Uh,
how can we combat what's going on in terms of the benign neglect, and how can we prepare for immigration? Because I have just a little quick story. So basically, one time I was with my homegirl, right, and I dropped her off to her mom's house to get something, and I don't like double parking, so I like spun around the block and I went back around the block to so I could. I don't like sitting in my car like that because I haven't been outside before, so I'm like I got paranoia. So she's calling me like as I pull off, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" She's like, "Where you go?" And basically, there were a bunch of immigrants in front of her mom's house, just chilling, like, and I mean, straight comfortable. And so I
damn.
had to, yeah, and they're talking to her and like catcalling her. They like, I think they were Venezuelans. So basically, I had to go back there, and they were like five of them, and I had to go back and I smacked the shit out of one of them, like no lie. I just
Wow.
walked up to him, he started talking to me, and then I smacked the shit out of him, and all his friends started laughing at him. And I just hopped back in the whip, whatever, and drove off. But I was like, yo, it's crazy because what if, like, what if I would have got jumped, or anything could have happened? What if they would have tried to, grope her or anything? It's real out here, and,
No,
and that's all.
thank you so much, brother. You know what's funny? Did y'all see the video? And I posted it on my Twitter feed, and it went viral. Um, in New York, it looked like the Bronx, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I don't know my way around New York, so I can't really call it. But it's in New York, and one of these Hispanic illegal immigrants tried to snatch this sister's purse while he was on a scooter, and I don't know what made him think that was the move, but that sister started whooping his ass. This fool tried to rob a New York sister with no weapon. This nigga, nobody gave him the memo that that is not the move. Man, did he not know them New York sisters will hem you up faster than a dude would? That sister lit his ass up. She was choking him out, saying all that New York shit. Yo, I do this. I'm like that, nigga. I'm like that. Wrong bitch, nigga. He ran up on one of them. Nigga, what made you think that was gonna be an easy win? He must have thought the women up there were like the women in his homeland. He just do shit too, and that's it. She beat the brakes off his ass. He up here screaming for help. No mas, no mas, no me gusta, no mas. He's screaming for help while she's whooping his ass. That, yeah, go look at the video. It's hilarious. New York is hell. This girl, she whooping his ass, yelling out her street. 1513 Nordstrom Ave, nigga. Recognize. Like, good Lord, fool. He didn't know. That's what it is, man. This is what we gotta deal with out here, man. It's insane. It is insane. That's why we gotta make some noise and say, hey, man, this ain't the business. Y'all flooding the zone. Y'all letting these weirdos live among us, and the criminal class. They dump them right on top of us, and we got to deal with them with the limited resources that we already don't have. We don't have the resources like we need, and then you dump a criminal element on us, and then we have to deal with the brunt of this nonsense. Shay, what's up, Shay?
Hi, Tariq. How are you?
I'm good. Shay, what's on your mind?
I wanted to ask you, do you remember that white boy that killed the black man on the train in New York? He like choked him out or something?
Yeah, Daniel Penny.
Yeah. You know what's crazy, Tariq? I was just watching, I'm on the East Coast over here. I was just watching an episode of Law and Order. It was a new episode. And they literally did an episode portraying that situation. And the crazy thing is, they literally, during like the trial period on the episode, they literally had evidence that the boy that did this in the show was a white supremacist, but they couldn't even bring it out during the trial. So
Oh
it's
yeah, that's
so
Kyle
crazy
Rittenhouse.
how.
Oh yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here, baby. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's so crazy how they were literally, and the crazy thing is, even at the end of the episode, the white boy got acquitted, And there was literally damning evidence that he did this because he was a white supremacist. He did this because the guy was black, and it was all about race. And they literally acquitted the guy even on the show. So it's crazy how they will literally play in our faces even after such a heinous crime, a blatant racist heinous crime occurs. Like,
Exactly.
it's really
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, dear. Same thing with Kyle Rittenhouse. Um, the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, that was a case of white supremacy really kind of trying to flex its muscles. They had to make a bold white supremacist move. That judge was team white supremacy. They didn't allow Kyle's background to be talked about, the evidence of him doing a premeditated planning to kill somebody, allegedly. They didn't show that. They didn't allow the people he killed to be named as victims. They didn't allow Kyle's ties to white supremacist groups to be introduced. He went out there with a white supremacist organization, and afterwards, when he got the bail and all of that, he's up here throwing up white supremacist hand signs, the whole shebang. And they just had Kyle down in Memphis, right? Turning Point, Charlie Kirk, suspected white supremacist. He's still, you know, Rittenhouse is still clicked in with the white supremacists. They booked Kyle to speak at the University of Memphis, I think. I think that was the university, basically to antagonize black people. That's why they sent him down there. There was no reason for him to do a lecture. He's not a lecturer. When he was up there doing the lecture, he was basically babbling and not really answering questions and not really talking about anything. The whole purpose was to get him in a city full of black folks to be antagonistic, to say, hey, look, I killed some people at a Black Lives Matter protest, and now here I am going on tour. That was the whole purpose, is just to him, for them to parade him around to antagonize black people. Yeah. Spock, hop on.
Hello,
What's up, Spock?
I'm good. First of all, I want to say I appreciate everything that you do as a foundational Black American, and it's awesome to finally be able to speak to you.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so basically, I was just going to ask, have you heard about how they're trying to, the whole Nickelodeon situation, how they're trying to now they're trying to blame a black guy now for that whole Nickelodeon situation. I know it was some guy who had an interview with Dan Snyder, I think, and he was on the show iCarly. He was basically just a supporting cast member of that show, and now they're trying to blame him for being what was happening to the children on that show, like with the whole pedophilia and all that crap. Excuse my language.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I gotta watch the show so I can know the context of it. Yeah, because a couple of people are calling up mentioning the show, so I'm going to have to watch it so I can really understand the context of it. Let me get my brother Afro Elite, then I get Andy on here. Let's get brother Afro Elite in the building. Mr. Afro Elite. I'm good, man. How are you, bro?
I'm good. I'm good. Um, I came on because I heard the other person speak about this documentary about the Nickelodeon actors, and the first thing I want to say, if any of that stuff is true, it's obviously horrible, and I don't condone any of that. But I will also add to the fact that some of the people who are the quote unquote victims in the documentary, they have multiple sexual assault allegations. I know for a fact Drake Bell, who's in the documentary talking about what happened to him, he has multiple sexual assault allegations. And the media is now making it seem like, oh my God, he's such this victim. And nobody, not Me Too, not anybody, is bringing up the fact that he's had multiple women confess that he's done inappropriate things with them or to them.
Wow.
So it's interesting how the media is now turning this predator, allegedly, into an alleged victim, and you don't see that type of energy being done with any black man or even Jonathan Majors, for example.
Right,
So I
right.
just wanted to say that.
No doubt. I'm gonna have to look into that. And by the way, did you get any luck on some of the theaters up there in Chicago?
Yeah, I got this email. I'm asking for more details. They said they're gonna get back to me later
Oh,
on this week because I got to extend the time for it because the
oh,
movie for the time limit.
Okay, cool. So keep me posted, brother.
I got you.
All right, peace. All right, let's get Andy. What's up, Andy?
What's going on, Tariq?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm just here for our nightly ad read for Rootwork.
Yes.
Yeah, rootworkstyle.com. If you go to rootworkstyle.com, you can use my code Andy10. You know, we've got a plethora of flavors up there. We've got the violent vanilla, the
Oh,
la- the lazy lavender. We've even got the welfare watermelon in. It's a new flavor.
and there's
A lot,
another, and you forgot the other flavor,
what's that?
Hunky Honeysuckle. Hunky Honeysuckle. That's for you. That I've named it for you. Hunky Honeysuckle. That's
I'll
a
have to
great.
try
Yeah.
that out. I'll
Yes,
have to
indeed.
try that. Yeah, that probably that must be a new flavor after the melanin mango.
Yeah,
It,
indeed.
yeah.
And and there's another one, Tiny Testicle Tangerine. That's another flavor that we got for you, brother. So, Tiny
Awesome.
Testicle Tangerine.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I just wanted to let your audience know to go to rootworkstyle.com. So thanks for having me up, and y'all enjoy the show.
Yes, indeed. Also, another one for you, Andy. It's coming out next month. It's Low Birth Rate Banana. So you're gonna really love that one. That one's gonna hit real
Oh
different.
man, that one hurts. That one hurts. All right, man.
Oh, Lord. Lord. All right, Nick, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, Tariq?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, you popped up on my spaces up top, and I like how you run it with, cycling the people and all that. But trying to be original here, ask you an abstract question.
Yes.
Do you think Abraham Lincoln is an overrated president, and the Civil War could have been avoided?
Um, I think he's overrated. Yeah, I do think he's overrated because he was an anti-black racist, just like a lot of them, and that's highly overlooked for some reason. They ignore some of the vile stuff he said about black people. Could the Civil War have been avoided? Yeah, I mean, woulda, coulda, shoulda. There's a lot of things that could have been avoided. Now, what do you think about it? How do you think it could have been avoided?
Well, it's hard. It's hard putting your just on how hard knowledge was. Like, you had to rely on actual mail, and things weren't as easy. But yeah, I think that Abraham Lincoln, had a lot to do with nationalizing the banks and going that direction. As far as avoiding the Civil War, I think it would have been. It's tricky, right? Because I think states and their power and what they invented and that would have all changed if the Civil War didn't happen. Uh, but it should have been ended sooner, obviously. But it's hard to say when you're not there. I got to do some more research.
Right. What do you think was the real reason behind the Civil War? It wasn't to free us. That wasn't the real reason.
No, it was to change slavery, right? Because the land was so vast, uh, they knew like there was going to be like 100 years of rapid progression and wealth being made. So they had to change things. Nationalize the banks. Bring in a lot of European bankers, and yeah, the war cost money, as far as debt, and it created a lot of jobs that people didn't have as becoming soldiers, and they sold the Civil War, riled everybody up against the North and the South, and yeah, I mean it was the deadliest war for Americans.
Right. And the thing about the Civil War, the South felt like the North was being hypocritical because you had a lot of the abolitionists in the North saying that, well, the slavery is kind of janky, and the South was like, what do you mean? You sold this black person to me? Because the North was the slave trade started in the North first, and they helped expand the slavery in the South. They were selling people to the South, selling them down the river. That's where the term comes from. And the South was like, hey, you guys are being hypocritical. And the South was like, hell, we're powerful enough to break off and just be our own country. So we don't really need the northern states anymore. And that's when they said, oh, we got to keep the Union together. So that's when the thing popped off. But yeah, us being freed was never in the equation until later. So,
It
yeah,
was a scapegoat, right?
Yeah,
They change history. No, it's interesting, man. I'll cycle back around, but tying into like a lot of farmers died, and when you look at interesting kind of different protest strategies, the farmer protesting in Europe specifically, not so much in Canada. They did their best, but what's going on? It's interesting, and how they're fighting back. They're like walling in the politicians. But thanks, man. Thanks for letting me speak.
there you go. Thank you so much. Yeah. See, when people talk about slavery and during the antebellum slavery time, what's interesting, a lot of people, they'll try to just put it on the South. They'll talk about how um, slavery impacted the southern states. Man, listen, the enslavement of foundational Black Americans, everybody was profiting off that. The North, the South, Europe, all of Western society was profiting off of that. See, we have to understand the totality of the slave institution and how vast it was. I want folks to understand um, every single institution in society here was basically based on our subjugation. All of them. That anti-Black racism is so institutionalized. You point to any type of institution, we can point to the anti-Black genesis of it. In these corporations, in the education system, the medical system, we can point that out. We can point out the anti-Black racism within that because we were the first people they were doing experiments on. The medical insurance industry started because they were insuring us on the plantation. So if we died, they would make money. We got to understand that we are tied into all, not some, not a few, not partial, but all of the institutions that were born out of American society. I mean, we got to understand how deep we're tied into it, and the notion of anti-Black racism, even the way cities were designed, the way cities are designed, the way freeways are laid out. Freeways were laid out in major cities um, to deliberately disenfranchise Black areas. Certain parks and things like that were created to kind of corner off Black people. Black people, um, our homes and communities were put by railroads, and dude, it's a vast thing. If you look at big cities like, I use LA for example, South Central LA, which is the so-called Black neighborhood of Los Angeles, it's walled in by 4 freeways, basically. And that's by design. If you look at South Central LA, it's cornered in by the 10 freeway, the 105 freeway, the 110 freeway, and the 405 freeway. That's why when the riots went down in um, 92, they just shut the freeways down and start bringing in those military weapons. So that's the reason why. And a lot of Black neighborhoods around the country, they're cornered off and they're sequestered in by freeways. You look at certain towns and where the projects are. You drive through New York and right where the freeways are, the big housing projects. That's by design. So if anything goes down, because they understand the only people who are a real threat to the national security on a regular basis, the Black people, we're the only ones who will turn up, and they don't know when, and they know that it's justified. So they have to always keep us in a position where they can get to us real fast. So if anything goes down, they can shut them freeways down and then get them tanks rolling in real fast, right directly to the Black neighborhoods. So again, the anti-Black racism is so deeply institutional. It's not a joke. All right, let's get Trinity. Let's get Miss Trinity in the building. Then we'll get Black noble beasts. But let's get Trinity first. Trinity, Miss Trinity, want to unmute your mic?
I'm unmuted. How are you doing, Tariq?
I'm good, dear. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Peace, power, love, and reparations to the family.
Mm-hmm.
So, really quick, the spirit is always moving me to research this and that. And so recently, I was moved to research the fist that, we do. And it led me in the direction of Stokely Carmichael.
Yeah.
And I recently ordered a book um, by him called Black Power, and I was just wondering if you could um, give your insight or some information about him because I'm just really not sure.
Yeah, Stokely Carmichael, he was a rider. He was cool. He was a Trinidadian brother. And he was a rider. He was around a lot of FBAs, and he had the same energy that we were on. So Stokely Carmichael was a rider. Yeah, he did his thing, and he was like, "Hey, I ain't with all that non-violent stuff. We gonna have to pick up some weapons and protect ourselves." So he was a rider. Stokely Carmichael was definitely a rider. All right, let's get brother Che. Get brother Che. Well, no, let's get Black Noble. Black Noble first, and then brother Che.
What's up, Tyreek, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm a survivor, brother. I'm a survivor, but I want to touch up on the situation with the border that you brought up early. Man, when I saw that shit, I thought they was filming a new damn zombie movie down there. I mean, that shit was scary.
Man,
Man, brother, look, the Democrat Party need to think of something because we can't have the whole world come to this country. We can't hold the whole world in this damn.
there you go, brother. All right. All right, let's get brother Che in here. Brother Che. Brother Che, you can unmute your microphone, sir. All right. While we're waiting on brother Che to get some of his prepaid minutes reloaded on his phone card, let's get K
All
City.
right.
Oh wait, that's Che. Okay, Che, you good?
I'm good. How you doing? What's up?
I'm good, Che. What's on your mind?
Well, I was actually just listening. I didn't want to actually speak. I was just checking
Okay,
everything thing out.
okay, so you must have hit the button by mistake. You hit the request button to speak by mistake.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah, it's all right. All right, well, thank you so
I was actually getting ready for bed.
much. Okay, all right, Mr. All right,
All right.
what city you in, Mr. Che?
I'm in DC.
DC. All right, my brother, man. All right, you have a good night, sir. All right.
You too, sir.
All right. Mr. Che, old school brother. His grandkids got him a phone and he don't know how to really work it. Okay. He hit the wrong button. That happens sometimes. Shout out to Brother Che. Lord, I didn't push this button. I'm trying to check on my prescription and I don't know what I did. I gotta get on Facebook and ask my grandchildren what I need to do. All right, K City, hop on, dear.
You're the funniest person I know, and I'm not just saying that. So, uh,
How you doing, dear?
all right. I wanted your thoughts about satirical films and um, the ones that mock racism. What kind of impact do you think they have on white supremacy?
Like which ones that mock race? Which ones?
I'm thinking of the American Fiction, and then they have another one. I think David Allen Greer produced it about magical Negroes is in the title.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I gotta. I'm getting mixed reviews on that film because somebody said that the brother in the film was basically chasing a white woman. So I don't know. I got to look into that. But some of these films that are supposed to mock racism, no, they say that on the surface, but then it turns into some kind of feminist bedwench stuff like that. There was one show on Netflix about black people something, hey white people something, I forgot. it was supposed to be some kind of radical type of thing. Dear white people, right? But basically that turned into some bedwenchery. So yeah, that no. When they say they want to mock racism, no, no. It's a lot of these writers that will kind of satirically mock us. We're being mocked. They mock black radicalism, and then like they'll show a black woman like in the Dear White People show. They're all radical and yeah, white folks this, white folks that. But then at the end of the day, she's a damn bedwench. So they're really mocking us. They're not mocking racism. We're the ones being mocked. So we got to be very careful with that. And we got to see who's writing what out here. All right, let's get let me see. A lot of people in here. Don't forget, family, get your tickets to join us at the Hidden History Museum April 13th, Saturday, April 13th. If you're in the LA area or Arizona, San Diego, or anywhere around Southern California, y'all need to come on through to the Hidden History Museum. We have a ball up there. It's a great vibe. We have great food, great drinks. It is a vibe. Y'all need to come on through.
Join us for the Spring Fever Fling at the Hidden History Museum, Saturday, April 13th at 7 p.m. We're going to have a comedy show, complimentary food, complimentary drinks, and music to keep you partying into the night. So get your RSVP tickets now at hiddenhistorymuseum.com. That's hiddenhistorymuseum.com.